Hello, my name is Omer Arad. I'm 31 years old and I proudly want to say that I live in Betsalel Yafe 7 for 5 years in the same building, in the same apartment. I can actually say that I'm the oldest lodger here in this apartment actually. And well, it makes me feel so proud. And I want to tell a little bit the story of how I came to Betsalel Yafe 7 in the first place, and I'll just begin from the beginning. I lived in Echad Ha'am, one Angret first, and then I had to leave to Jabotinsky. It began to be heavier for me financially to stay there, because I had to find a roommate, and I didn't find any roommate in Jabotinsky, except one American girl that lived with me just for 1 month and then went. I couldn't afford it to myself, so I had to move from Jabotinsky. So I started to look at homeless, and it's like a site called Homeless, a Hebrew site, and I phoned, and a nice girl just picked up the phone, and I talked with her, and she said her name is Hannah. She told me she has a room in Betsalel Yafe, and she invited me to come to see the room. So I went there. It was one night. It was, I think, maybe January 2009. I guess, yes, probably. The first thing I remember that I came there, and those stairs, those high stairs, and I thought to myself, wow, this is really old. This is really old, but it's cool, you know. And like a red-haired girl, Hannah, opened the door, and she was very nice, and she showed me the apartment. She showed me the room, and she told me she's also in cinema and everything. And we discussed a little bit in her balcony, her balcony of the room. She told me it's only her and another guy named Havner, Israeli guy named Havner, and she made a film and everything. And I told her, wow, I make films too. Silent films, actually, silent, but films. And she made more documentary films. So actually it was a very nice conversation, and I thought to myself, wow, she's really nice. I want her to be my roommate. And Havner was a student to philosophy at that time. Again, January 2009, and I had to make a quick decision. She told me, you have to pay me, that your room will be safe for you. So I paid her, I think, the day after. Quick decision. I told myself, wow, it's very cool to live with people after I've been like half a year so lonely in Jabotinsky, looking for a roommate in Jabotinsky, and I felt, wow, now there is Hannah that has the contract with the owner, and I just can't come here, and it's going to be like a new family with Hannah and Avno. So on February, I don't remember the exact date, but February 2009, I came to Betsalel Yafe. I moved there. The coolest thing I think about Betsalel Yafe is that it's really, even in the beginning, you get to know a lot of people all over the world. Now, it was, in the first place, like I said, it was Hannah and Avner, but after that, Hannah brought her friend, Yahel, I remember, a photographer, and even her ex-boyfriend, Pavel, and lived with us. Pavel brought a lot of his Polish, a lot of his Poles friends from Poland, because he is was originally from Poland. So he brought their friends and everything, and make a mangal in the balcony and in Hannah's room, and it was really like a thing that I never experienced before, because when I lived the first time I moved to Tel Aviv, I lived in Chad Ha'am. I just had one roommate, and in Jabotinsky almost none roommate. So here it was like this social experience, to live with people and to make new friends every month, new friends. After a while, there were more people to come. There were a girl named Hagar that lived there, and Fares, and that he was also in cinema, and a girl named Adara. Like I said, it's all over the world, from Chile, from United Kingdom. After Hannah and her ex-boyfriend Pavel moved downstairs, came a girl named Melora, and she was from United Kingdom. And there was Roman from Frankfurt, a guy from France, Nico. In the first years, like 4 years ago, for example, it was more like, this apartment actually was more like a train station. Like people came and move and came and move, and it was really like every month I knew new people from new countries, and we all only spoke English with each other. By the way, Jews and non-Jews, there were a lot of non-Jews that were interested in Israel until it became more steady. It began when Ethan came in. Hannah lived with her next boyfriend, Achia, and she got married, and she moved to India. So Sinai took her place, and Sinai made a lot of improvement in the apartment, a lot of improvement. The lock in our door, the boiler, the kitchen, a lot of changes. One of the coolest things at dinner time, for example, in the summer, was that you could open the door from the kitchen, and you can actually talk. You can actually talk with the other neighbors in the next door. Again, people from different countries. For me as an Israeli, it's nice because it saves me like a ticket to fly everywhere, because I don't need to fly to other countries. All the people from other countries come here. And I had conversations with them, and I found them very intelligent, very wise. Shared with me a lot of experiences. People here in this apartment, I can say, give respect to one's privacy. So you don't feel really crowded. You feel you have your own space, your own air, your own room. I live with Ethan. I live with Sinai. Ori came about, I think, maybe 4 or 5 months ago. And of course, Jonathan, the French, that lives now in Hannah's room, what was Hannah's room and became Sinai's room, and now it's his room. And he's making like a very special Friday evenings in the summer for Shabbos. And I live with Asaf. Actually, I would like to see Asaf more. He sometimes comes. I decided to make this documentary. Well, actually, I had a good piece of advice from my mom first, that say that it's going to be cool to make like a documentary on the building. And I just told myself, wow, it's really good idea. And next I I really thought that a documentary could be interesting in this apartment because this apartment is special, and because I'm steady. I'm here for 5 years. I feel like, wow, I know this apartment. I love this apartment. I love this building. I made films, my silent films. I make films like in a silent film style from the 20s. So I made a lot of films here in this apartment, and I feel that it's time to know and to share and to document this wonderful activity that goes around here. And I think it's it's good for other people too that comes to our page on Facebook, on YouTube, whatever, but will come and see what a wonderful apartment this is. And we also make so much activities, especially in the summer. I bought a projector and a flyer, and we make screenings of films, movies, and on the roof, and a lot of parties, and a lot of sweet, interesting, and beautiful people. But the most difficult period was when when the workers were outside and start to work on the building and to paint it again, and I had to wake up in the morning and see workers staring at me from the window and shouting, and the things that rarely going on here, and I had to live with this just for 1.5 year, I think 1.5 year. But when it's finished, the building looked like $1 million. And I want to tell about another thing that happened here, a little bit unpleasant, and I don't think I will never forget it. It was like 5 years ago, and it was the cockroach attack. I remember that I came back one Friday evening after a family occasion. I went back to an apartment, and there was like Avner and a girl from, I think, Finland named Ainu, and there was a lot of cockroaches everywhere. I don't know from where they came, just on my bed, on the TV, on the closet, everywhere in my room, everywhere in the apartment, flying big, ugly, and nasty cockroaches. It was very disgusting, and we tried everywhere to move them out, and everywhere, and I knew screamed help and everything, and eventually all the apartments smelled like hell out of the cockroach and out of the product that we use on the cockroach, and eventually I just got sick and I throw up or something. I can say another experience that is more pleasant. I will remember a lot of things that were going on here. I remember the Hanukkah, when Hannah baked me and Hagar, that used to be my roommate that lived there. She made us the traditional leviva, and it was really nice. I felt that day really like a home, really like we are like a community, we are like a family. That I remember my birthday when Eitan make his special cakes, a special ice cream cake, and the special occasions on Thanksgiving Day. I never celebrated in my life Thanksgiving Day, and this was so marvelous to celebrate, because Ethan and he's American, So I celebrate Thanksgiving for the first time in my life, and I'm Israeli, and I would never have this experience, I think, if I would not live here. Also, I don't to mention Christmas and all the special foods and the cranberry sauce. I really like sweets, so the cranberry sauce is excellent. The final words is that I want to continue to live in Betsalel Yafe 7. I really like this apartment, and I hope the documentary will contribute to the things I already know about this apartment, and just to document them and make this that not only us as a community, but people all over Tel Aviv will know how special our apartment is, and how special the people in the apartment and the events, not to mention the food and the films and everything that we can produce here.